So I met our keynote speaker almost 20 years ago. He was one of the very first people I met when I moved to Humboldt County, and as we were making small talk, and of course you ask what you do, and he said, well, I just do projects. I like to work on different things. And sure enough, over the last 20 years, I watched him, on top of running Lost Coast Communications and owning Lost Coast Communications. He's run the co-op when they needed an interim manager, and he's done lots of different jobs and been a really critical person within our community. He currently is the executive director of the Humboldt Area Foundation. And so he naturally came to mind when I wanted to select a speaker that had not only great success in life that he could pass on, but had been involved in so many different things that I thought his wisdom would be priceless if I was in your spot wanting to hear from somebody. So, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Cleary.
Good morning. I had to think hard about what I would want somebody to have said to me when I was graduating, and I thought back on all the advice I've gotten over the years. So I do have some advice for all you young folks here. You're going to be getting a lot of advice from people from us, and I just want you to tell you, don't listen to it. When I was growing up, the big word of advice was plastics. You young people can ask the old folks later what that means and why that's funny. But to my knowledge, plastics never did any of us any good. I don't think there's any of us here who really, that advice was very helpful for. And I think my point in terms of the world today, the world is changing so fast. It's incredible how fast the world is changing. When I was 36 years old, I had a young college graduate come to work for me. And I tried to explain to him that when I started work, we had no cell phones, no personal computers, and no fax machines. And he said to me, wow, you're a lot older than you look. And I said, no, that was not the point of the story at all. And you young folks are looking at me now saying, what's a fax machine? The world's changed. I mean, I finally got on Instagram, and I'm told that's passé now. It's Snapchat. Is that right? Is that what I'm supposed to trying to keep up in this world? But there is one thing we know, that whatever plans you make won't happen. That's just a fact of life, that we all make plans. And I think it's really important to make plans. Even if your plan is like, I'm going to go over to Kevin's house tonight. That's a plan, okay? You may not make it there. Something else may come up. In life, things will come up. They may be good things, they may be bad things. You will experience all sorts of emotions around your plans either coming through or being exceeded or not happening. There'll be ups and there'll be downs. And the most important thing in life is to be able to make a new plan when your plan falls through. Because it's really important to just realize that things change, and you can't predict the future, especially now. I mean, with the way the world's going. But I have to say, it was never in my plan to live in Humboldt County. It was never in my plan to run a community foundation. I didn't even know what a community foundation was. So, the important thing is to figure out what's important to you. Whether that's family, whether that's changing the world, whether that's rooting for the Warriors. Whatever's important to you, you need to keep those in mind, and you need to make plans that push you in that direction, and then wait for them to fall through. And make a new plan. And make a new plan. And repeat. And there is one other quick word of advice I would give you, and that's only make new mistakes. Don't repeat the same mistake over and over again. But you're going to make mistakes, so I think that's important to embrace. And in fact, one of my hobbies, I love to play music. And somebody who was very close to me at one point said, you know what your problem is with music is you're afraid to make a mistake. And when I realized that she was right, I started making a lot more mistakes. And you know what, I actually got better because I stopped making the same mistake and I made new ones. And you know, I'm not going to say I'm a great musician, but I have a lot of fun doing it. So try to embrace that. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but make sure you learn from them and you make a new plan. It's a great new exciting world. I think that you know, it's becoming a smaller and smaller world every day. It's becoming a more diverse world every day. I think that's wonderful. And enjoy the ride. Great, thanks.